Hello and welcome to Medicine Across Borders,
where we explore the global tapestry of healthcare
and challenges shaping healthcare systems worldwide.
Share your thoughts and rate us on our social platforms to help us continue bringing you content on global healthcare.
Welcome to Medicine Across Borders, the podcast where we explore the latest trends and innovations in global health and medical education. I'm your host, Savitran Eshwar, and today we are diving into a fascinating topic, the power of international collaboration in medical education. Let's get started. So, beginning with the first segment of the podcast today, the importance of international collaboration in medical education has been increased. There's an increasing demand in this interconnected world, and the field of medicine is no exception. To benefit the international students and the medical education, such international collaborations have become a necessity. Medical education that spans borders not only enhances the learning experience but also prepares students to address the global health challenges. It broadens the perspective of students and gives them a vast exposure. International collaboration in medical education allows students to experience and learn from global experts and understand the nuances of healthcare delivery in different cultural contexts. The exposure is invaluable, and it it increases exponentially the skills and the knowledge to work effectively in a globalized world. For instance, a student participating in international exchange collaborative programs can gain insights into different approaches to healthcare, which can which can improve their patient outcomes, right? And moving on to the second segment of the podcast, which is how international collaborations can enhance medical education. Before we start speaking about it, I would like to mention that I have myself been part of a international collaborative program, which is called the Associate Degree in Preclinical Sciences, which is also known as the Gulf Program in Poland, Medical University of Lublin, which has been brought up and initiated by MUL, and it is a 6-year program, as the MD program should be. But the collaboration comes with the Gulf Medical University, where we do 3 years of a preclinical sciences in Gulf Medical University in UAE, and then do the rest of the course in Medical University of Lublin, where we do the clinical sciences here. And I'm currently in my 5th year, and I have had a really great time in this course, and I feel like it's pretty organized and structured. And I've had initially there were a lot of inhibitions and a lot of doubts regarding how is it going to turn out. But I think by the first year end, I got clarity on and the best part about the course is that we get to stay with our family if at all they are in the UAE, we get to stay with them. And the University of Lublin has many other courses, collaborative courses like these. It's not just the Gulf program. There is the international program, there is the American program and Taiwanese program. There's a lot of programs in that way. So a lot of students, I think, can be benefited by this, where they can stay with the family, they can stay back home in a comfortable place where they begin the course of medicine. As we all know that medicine one of the longest courses compared has some of the longest number of years which takes in completing the bachelor's itself. I think spending a couple of years in the initial part of the course or the later part of the course sometimes can really be pleasant for us. So I'm really grateful for that, and the University of Lublin has made sure that our transition to the parent university is seamless. We didn't have any disturbances or differences or any gaps, learning gaps at all. We were having a proper preparation before we had transition from the Gulf University to from the preclinical to the clinical phase of the course. So it's not just about bringing up a course. It is making sure that practically every single thing is being implemented, and every single student in the course. Not every one of us is the same, right? Some of us are too good where we are. Some of us are still catching up with what's happening in the university. So but yet every single student in the class would, I'm sure in the batch would say that. mm it's been a seamless transition for us. We have got enough time to prepare, enough instructions being given much earlier, and just by following the steps, I think we can uh, just by blindly following the university and the steps, I think the transition will be seamless. So that's really fascinating to see something like this coming up. I personally never had um, until my first year, never had thought that there would be such a flexibility in medicine, especially such a course coming up, such a collaboration coming up is really a dream come true for someone like me at least. So I think I've taken the 100% benefit of what this course has to offer. So I would also suggest this to many of my juniors and people who I know who are in school and looking for a collaborative program of something like this. Moving on to the next segment of ours, how international collaboration enhances the medical education. So here we speak about the some key ways how international collaboration can enrich the medical education. So first of all is the exposure to a diverse healthcare system. So we need to understand that every country has a different working model. Like some countries have the insurance coming in, some countries have the NHS coming in. So the working model is pretty different in every country. Every we are talking about continents as well. Like here, when it comes to UAE, it's in Middle East, and this is like Poland is in Europe. So it's a different continent in itself and a different country, of course. And the working model is pretty different in every country. So it's the exposure which we're getting of how things work up there and how things are working here. So it's really good to know a lot of things because that will help us that will increase our knowledge base in the primarily it will increase the knowledge base. You'll have a clarity of how exactly things paperwork happens there and paperwork happens here. And I think as a doctor, as a healthcare professional, as a frontline worker, we need to know something about paperwork. We can't be completely blank. Of course, patient care, healthcare, and medical knowledge is priority, yes. But also, I think when it comes to the forms and the paperwork, I think we need to have a basic idea of it. So um, you can get that first-hand information when you're present in that country in that place. So I think that really increases the exposure like in real time. So as we students who engage in the international program, we get to see the way the healthcare system operates, and it broadens our experience and also understanding of how the approach to patient care is very different in every country, how the resource management takes place, how and how is the public health in that region. And the second thing would be about like learning from the global experts. Like in every country, in every university, there are some really valuable experiences which some professors and doctors have, and uh, international collaboration can this type of international collaboration can actually widen our can erase the borders and we can approach and it can give us a much more larger set of faculty to approach to gain knowledge from and maybe not even learn their experience, but by just knowing their experiences, their experience so far, and their learnings which they have perceived so far, I think that itself is a great learning and something which you can take with us for life. There are some good takeaways most of the times, um, and such experts are usually found in collaborative programs. We can find more of such experts who can tell us about some and they are the leaders in the field, and we can probably grab many unique opportunities by the knowledge what we are gaining from them. we can get an insight about the cutting edge research or the new age practice. Lot more things, as they are in the field. They are still having their hands on experience day in day out. I think, yeah, it's very important to have such conversations and spend some time with the experts, which I think in international collaborations it does happen. It does happen, and it's really great to have such an opportunity. And the third thing, going to the next point, would be about the cultural competency, the understanding and respecting of cultural differences. We in normal day probably might respect each other's perspectives. Like, I might have a perspective, my friend might have a different perspective on the same thing. We might have two different ways to solve the same problem, or have the two different solutions for the same puzzle or the issue, um, or two different answers for the same question, maybe. But which is possible, and respecting each other's space and perspective is something which we need to always do in the professional space, at least. And understanding and respecting the cultural differences are also very crucial in healthcare. International collaboration all helps us with that in developing that cultural competency, and it is essential and effective in a diverse setting, when it comes to a diverse setting. So that's that. And the innovation and research opportunities. Speaking about international collaborations, I think the very key point here comes is the innovation and research opportunities which we can grab, and which is ready for us out there, actually, because the global partnerships often lead to joint research projects and innovations in the medical practice. We students can involve ourselves in such initiative and contribute to some research which can be groundbreaking in the future. And more importantly, we can gain some hands-on experience with the new technologies, and at the same time the methodologies in which the research and the statistics works and the analysis of the raw data happens. So such methodologies can be learned, and we can gain some experience in that. So I think that's another very essential key point when it comes to international collaboration, and network building, career development in itself is happening when it comes to a collaboration, when it comes to a collaborative program. Most of us have moved out from our home country and are studying in Europe, uh, and for me it's Poland. So we are out there in the we are going global, we are international, for the exposure, for the diversity, and we are meeting a lot of people every single day, different nationalities. It doesn't matter where they're coming from, but we are there, and in the professional space we are looking for the exposure, we are looking for each other's experience, and the exchange of the experiences, and network building, right? So such collaborations can increase our network in international contacts, and this can probably open doors to future career opportunities. And students who are engaging in such global programs usually find themselves connected with the global healthcare community. So if you ask me for say, I think in the last 1 year, I think I have probably had connections now with almost about 50 to 60 people, and at least like 25 people are on in a weekly basis. We are in touch with each other, we keep updating ourselves with what's happening, and what are we up to, and what's our plan. And if there is any opportunity where, like, for say I'm doing a research, I'm doing a case report, I'm me asking him or him asking me, or vice versa, it keeps happening. And like, yeah, so we do keep speaking to each other, and we have a network, right? So I think that's very important, essential for every single person to speak to different people from different places, because that increases our knowledge base, and as I said, perspectives. Different Everyone has their own perspective and something which they can bring in, and it can be really it can give us a new insight into something which we already know about. It can give us a new perspective, and we can have a good insight out of it. So that's something to mention. And The impact of international collaborations, some successful examples would be that um, the Global Health Learning Network. This initiative connects the medical students from various countries through online platforms, allowing them to participate in virtual learning models, case discussions, and collaborative projects. Then the WHO has initiated something called the Global Health Workforce Alliance. This program focuses on improving health workforce education and training through international partnerships, and it provides students with opportunities to engage in global health projects and research. Right. And the medical student exchange programs, as I was mentioning about, so there are programs like IFMSA, which is International Federation of Medical Student Association, which facilitates exchange where students can study and work in different countries, gaining hands-on experience in diverse healthcare environments. Right. So these are some examples which I was mentioning about international collaborations, like yeah. And how can we get involved in international collaborations? So if any of us are interested, there are some steps which we can take, like exploring exchange programs. So, like the Erasmus program is something which is very popular and which goes on. Students they are offered from medical schools or international organizations for such exchange programs, and where they get opportunities for clinical rotations, research, or conferences. So either one of it, which can span between say a month, 3 months, or sometimes up to a year. So I think such opportunities are there, and you just have to explore the exchange programs which are being provided. Joining the global health network, becoming a member of a global health organization, or which and these organizations offer resources, events, and collaborative opportunities for students. So finding such a global health network is will be beneficial for students. And last but not the least, I think participating in virtual collaborations like online platforms, conferences which connect peers and professionals around the world can be a great way to engage in international projects. Um, and since it's online, I think you don't need to leave your country as well. Like, you can engage in international projects by sitting at home. So there you go. Um, and yeah, I think then something else to say would be seeking out for international research opportunities. So, participating in global research can provide valuable experience, and you can also contribute a significant advancement in the field. So many a times researchers do go. We wouldn't expect it to go that way, but we might sometimes contribute something significant. So there, so that's it. I think we have come to the end of the podcast. And I would like to conclude by saying that it's clear that international collaborations play a crucial role in shaping the future of medical education. And by embracing the global perspective and working together across borders, we can enhance our understanding of global health and the healthcare system and better prepare ourselves for the challenges of globalized world. Right. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of international collaboration in medical education. If you found this episode insightful, please do comment, leave a review, and share it with others who might be interested in this. Connect us on the social media platforms like Instagram and follow us for more updates and content. I am Savitran Eshwar, and this is Medicine Across Borders. Until next time, keep learning. See you guys.